I really need to give up on it.
We like to think we're in control when we build something. If we measure carefully and follow the steps, everything should go right. But wood doesn't care about your plans, and this slab reminded me of that. I've had this slab lying around for a while now. Oak with just enough width to make something useful. The grain was calm, clean, and the more I looked at it, the more I could see the table taking shape.
I think we can build the table up. It's about 100 centimeters by 50. Let's try it out.
I marked my cuts and split the slab right down the middle. I wanted the live edges on the inside, book matched. That mirrored look always feels a bit special. Seeing the two halves open up like that, it's a moment I never get tired of. I could see the rot running down the edge. No surprises there. Still, I didn't expect it to take quite this much work to clean out. It had gone deep in some spots, way past what I could live in. Bit by bit, I carved it back to something solid. Then, I could finally move on. With the edges cleaned up, I cut the slab to length. The track saw makes this part simple. No drama, just a straight line. It's one of those steps you don't really think about, but it needs to be right. This was my first time setting up the flattening jig. I took my time with it, making sure everything was square and smooth before starting. Then I did a few shallow passes just to see how it handled.
So what do I think about the new planing jig? I think it's the best I could have gotten. You can see from the wood, it's perfectly plain. I wouldn't have expected it to be this nice, to be honest. I was expecting it to get better from the old one, but this is way, way, way better. Let's hope I don't have issues with it, but yeah, I love it.
Once the slab was flattened, I started cutting the melamine panels. Nothing too complicated, just making sure I had enough clearance on all sides. I measured everything twice. It's easy to lose track when you're working off rough dimensions. I always try to give myself a bit of a breathing room, especially around the edge. Melamine isn't fun to cut. It dulls blades and the edge is always cheap. But it's flat, cheap, and releases epoxy. So you work with it. With the panels cut, I started putting the mold together. Screwed in from the outside, checking for square as I went. These always take more time than you'd think. Melamine moves around just enough to make it annoying. I sealed the seams with caulk, then gave the whole thing a coat of mold release. I've had a few sticks before, as you know, so I tried to be thorough this time. But apparently, I wasn't thorough enough. Before the main pour, I sealed the wood with a thin coat of resin, just enough to soak into the grain and keep the air bubbles down. I brushed it slowly, working into the edges and the rougher spots. It's a small step, but skipping it usually shows up later as bubbles creeping out along the edge. I mixed up the resin in two stages, part A, part B, then added the pigment. It was a deep metallic green, the kind that shifts and swirls when the light hits it. I stirred it just enough to bring it to life, then started the pour. It flowed slowly, picking up the shape of the mold as it settled.
Bravo.
A couple of days later, I came back to demold the piece. Usually, it takes just a few steps, maybe some pressure along the edges. But this one wouldn't move at all. The mold had fully bonded to the bottom. I tried everything, and in the end, I had to take it to the CNC and cut the mold off in layers. Once the mold was gone, I flattened the surface again. A few careful passes to bring everything back to level. The resin cleaned up nicely, and the grain started to show through again. After the mess with the mold, it was good just to move forward. With the surface cleaned up, I trimmed the piece to its final size. I squared up the ends and cut it to width, just bringing everything into line. These cuts don't take long, but they matter. It's where the rough slab finally starts to look like a table. I gave the surface a first pass with the new sander, just getting a feel for it, letting it run over the resin and wood. Right away, it felt different.
This is crazy to me. Look at this. I've been sanding the whole side here and still as good as new. My first time using a fast tool, my old Bosch. This thing's on another planet. It's not just the hype, believe me, it's not just the hype. Every time when it came to sanding, I was dreading every second of it. With this thing, holy shit, this thing's amazing. It does the job 10 times quicker, it does it way better, and as you can see, these discs last. Usually on a table like this, even even on a small coffee table, once I went through everything with 80 grit, that 80 grit disc I had to throw away. With this, I've been doing this side, I've also been doing the back side a little bit, and it's still as good as new. This is crazy, it's really crazy for me, and I really enjoy it, so let's continue.
After the first sanding pass, I went in to fill in the small voids. A few pinholes in the resin, some soft spot in the grain. Nothing major. I used a bit of clear resin and CA glue to patch them up. Then, I sanded everything back down flat. I rounded over the edges with a small bit, just enough to take off the sharpness. It's one of those steps you don't notice until it's missing. The table starts to feel more finished in your hands, even if there's still a lot of work left to do.
This is an interesting thing. I don't think I can recover this. I'll try, and if not, this is just gonna be scrap.
Even with the cupping, I kept going on the surface. I sanded the grids, cleaned up the resin, and started polishing it out. The color came back strong, deep and reflective. Just like I hoped when I mixed it. Hard to tell at this point if it's still worth the time, but I wasn't really ready to walk away from it yet.
So what I did, I dampened this part because it's cut this way, and we're gonna put this on the table to keep it damp, and this way this part will try to go the other way around because this part, the other side is drier than this one, and hopefully it will come back. Then we can seal it and make everything keep its shape. But I'm not that confident because besides the fact that it's cut this way, like this, it's also cut somehow on the diagonal. These are lower than these, and it's not gonna be fun. So let's hope it gets flatter. What I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna dampen this part here to keep the moisture here, so we can have everything nice and damp, and this way most probably it will go back. Let's see.
I never tried reversing a cup like this before, but it felt worth a shot. I soaked the blanket and laid the slab face down on it, hoping the moisture would help the wood relax.
I'll come back in a few hours and hopefully everything's gonna be fine. After a few hours of sitting like that, as you can see, the cupping is way less. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep it like this for a few more hours, so it will remove all the cupping and hopefully we have everything fine and dandy. Then I'm gonna leave it to sit like this for about another 2 days, just to make sure that it's stabilized, and then I can seal it up so it won't draw any new moisture. Let's hope it works, otherwise this is still junk.
A few days later, I checked in. It moved a little. Not much, but enough to notice. I gave it a coat of hard oil, even though I wasn't sure how much further it would go. The grain darkened, the resin picked up some depth. It looked good, at least on the surface.
Okay, so even though I finished this table, I just wanted to have something nice as an ending for this video, because I'm not gonna put any legs on it. I was supposed to make custom legs for it and everything, but I just can't. I'll put in some b-roll here where you'll see that this thing is still a potato chip, and I can't consciously use this table, give this table to anyone, because it's just too cupped. Every time I tried it, I think this is about 3 or 4 months after I made this table, so I've been struggling with it for a while now, for like, as I said, 2, 3, 4 months, I don't know, I really don't know. I've been struggling a lot. Every time I make it uncup and make it straight, it cups back again after a few days. And if I put finish on it and I seal it, I'm pretty sure it will do the same, because my first table that I built, even though it's a very nice table, I'll have a link somewhere here with that cup as well, and as much as I tried, it doesn't come back. If the wood wants to go in one direction, you're not going to have any way of putting it back straight. The thing is that I would have liked to make it straight by putting it to the drum sander. Well, in fact, I did that, and this is like right now 1.5 inch, maybe even slimmer than that. So every time I tried to fix it, it went back to cupping, and I just can't use it. I love this green. I really love how it turned out, and I really want to build another table like this, and I want to give it to someone. I don't know, my sister, one of you guys, someone, I don't know. I really love how this went, but this oak, something's wrong with it. I think it either wasn't dry enough, or it just part of the middle of the tree, which naturally tends to cup, and unfortunately I have to give this table up. I wanted to put legs on it, I wanted to do a nice ending for it, but my camera cut off. So what I was saying is that even though I love this table, I really need to give up on it, and hopefully you guys learned something from this, and hopefully you're gonna still hit the like and you're gonna subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. The next one is gonna be even worse, so stay tuned.